What's up, guys? Let me just see if this is working. What's up, guys? It's just another live stream hangout. Going to be discussing the recent price action, going over a few things, giving you guys my thoughts, my analysis, my opinions. You guys ask me questions. We have a little conversation. If you are watching this as a playback, there will most likely be in the description. If you're watching this as a playback, in the description there is most likely going to be time codes for you to click on. Now, guys, it's been a while since I did a live stream, hasn't it? It's been a while. Let me just wait for people to join in here. Jonathan Baker says Bitcoin was overextended the entire run from 3K to 20K last year, though, brother. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. I mean, if you were trading based on the RSI during the bull run, it didn't really work out for you, did it? All right. You guys, RSI, I don't like to trade with the RSI on Bitcoin because that thing can be so overextended to the downside or the upside, and it doesn't really tell you too much. Just gonna wait for people to join here. Guys, smash that like button before we get started. What's up, Crypto UK? What's up, dude? Nicholas, what's up? Jonathan Baker, Guilty Pleasure. What is going on, guys? So I can't give everybody a shout out, but I see all you guys here. I see all you guys. We're just going to wait a second to get started. So, guys, we are getting a bit of a breakout here, right? Like, we're above our resistance point. Technically, this is a breakout, right? Breaking out of our formation. It's just, you know, how sustainable is it? That's really the question here, guys. Oh, wait, Crypto UK, why aren't you a mod here? You should be a mod. There you go. Annie, what's up? Claudio, what's up, man? Yeah, guys, so one thing I want to address is just the incredible amount of over-exuberance during this run, right? All of a sudden, right? So, like, if you remember, when Bitcoin was selling off here, right? Bitcoin's selling off, bouncing, selling off. Everyone's so depressed. Everyone's just like, you know, oh, this sucks. And then we start bouncing, we start running hard. And all of a sudden, all the people who were so, you know, like disappointed by Bitcoin's price action are now basically, it's the new paradigm all of a sudden, right? Like, all of a sudden, Bitcoin is finally interesting again. And there's really not that much news out right now that would suggest that there is a bull market starting, right? So, hold on, let me see. Let me just see what the chat's saying here. So, guys, I haven't done a live stream in quite some time, so I'm gotta get back in the swing of this right now. I was on a roll, December, November. Anthony, what's up, man? You've been around for a while. I'll throw you as a mod here. So, guys, this has been an interesting move. Interesting move overall. You know, like, as we came up above this, so I'm just looking at it like this, guys. Our downward sloping resistance point, which we are breaking out of now. Light Yagami, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a minute. So, you know, breaking out of our downward sloping resistance, guys. If you hop over to the 15-minute here, the price came up above it. We bounced off of this downward sloping resistance a few times, running up. Had an interesting wick here today on Bitstamp, up to exactly $4,000. And now we're just floating up here. You know, if you're looking at just this area right here and right here, we're seeing pretty consistent profit taking up here, guys. Profit taking has been increasing a bunch. It's hard to see on the 4-hour, but if you break it down like the 1-hour, this, guys, it's interesting. This entire move has had really consistent profit taking throughout the whole thing, right? If you're looking at this move, this consolidation, you had good bullish pressure holding that price up, downward sloping. A lot of profit taking in between, and now we're coming up here. A lot of profit taking in between, guys. Personally, I don't think that this move is sustainable anymore, guys. Things can stay irrational as long as they want to. I mean, I guess the thing could just keep going, keep going, keep going. But, you know, at this point, I would say we're probably topping out. We're probably a bit overextended, and we will probably get a pullback. A nice, healthy sell-off from an insane run, right? We've had a lot of profit taking in between, along with a lot of overexuberance. Not necessarily the best combination. And, you know, we're sitting, you know, we had that breakout above our downward sloping resistance. We're bouncing off it a couple times. Coming up. I think we're losing steam here, guys. I mean, it's easy for me to say that now, but I'm just telling you guys what I think. So, what's interesting is that we actually came right up to 4,000 here on Bitstamp. Right up to 4,000. Right up to this area here. So, we got pretty damn close to challenging our highs, guys. We got pretty damn close. Didn't quite make it, though, right? Our last, I personally, I don't really, on a smaller time scale, yes, this is a higher high, right? But so was this, higher high here. Yeah, but so is this, higher high here. I don't really consider this much of a higher high. The high that we need to break is this level right here. This last BART, or whatever you want to call it, right? Just above 4,000, 4,040. That's what we needed to break. We got to 4,000 here on Bitstamp, didn't quite make it, so we have not yet created a higher high. We got rejected here, possibly forming our next lower high here on the charts. A little bit higher than I would have expected, right? Let's see. Yeah, and one thing I love looking at is just the way that Bitcoin ran up. Just the way, like, we had this pump, right? This was a more... This seemed a little bit more normal for Bitcoin, just the way that this rallied up, downward sloping consolidation. But this move here looks crazy. Like, you can tell that there was a lot of emotion involved in this move. A lot of overexuberance. It's pretty evident in here, guys. You just had, like, these wicks, major rejection. The exuberance was still there, right? People were just, I don't know what it was, some news, something. Market didn't even care. Kept running, getting some wicks, kept running. Coming up here, sell-off, kept going. It's just a lot of what you're seeing here in the charts is a lot of emotion and a lot of continuation, like waves of like enthusiasm, right? It's just, it doesn't really like, it's not respecting the technicals really. It's kind of just doing its own thing. And that's like, you can tell it's a lot of overexuberance, a lot of emotion involved in this. Which is why I don't think it's sustainable. Could we pop out of here, guys? Yes, this move can stay irrational as long as it wants to, right? This thing can stay irrational as long as it wants to, really. I'm gonna get to the chat in a second, guys. Just give me a second. What's interesting is when you look at Ethereum here, look at the formation that Ethereum's in. Look at Litecoin as well. You see these? I mean, these are some of the cryptos that I actually find notable, right? Most altcoins I don't find notable at all. Ethereum, Litecoin, they have their place here in the crypto market, and in my book. But interesting formation here for Ethereum, Litecoin, right? Similar thing going. Or sorry, Ethereum, Litecoin, very similar thing going on. Litecoin actually did get a higher high. Ethereum almost, pretty damn close. It could happen if Bitcoin continues, right? Bitcoin not so much, right? We're looking at Bitcoin here, much more tame price action, right? Like Ethereum broke out of its outermost resistance point from its overall trend, actually did get above it. Litecoin, same thing, actually got above it, created a higher high. Right now, Bitcoin pretty tame, not so much. Right? Could we look at these altcoins as a potential precursor to see what Bitcoin might do? I mean, maybe, but I don't know. We're pretty far away from our outermost resistance on Bitcoin here. I would expect that if we do reach this, we'll probably see really good rejection, really good resistance at our outermost resistance level at this point, guys. I would think we're going to get a lot of resistance here. So honestly, I mean, this thing can stay irrational as long as it wants to. But I would think if we did make it up there, which is like I would say 4,400, probably about 4,400, we would probably get some major rejection at that level. It would really surprise me if Bitcoin did something like this, but, you know, I guess we'll see. Personally, I think that this run is probably close to being over. It's interesting to see that we have a daily candle right now above our downward sloping resistance. We got a daily candle here. Hasn't closed, obviously, just yet. We have another 7 hours left. So it'll be interesting, guys. There is still a chance for this thing to reverse and the daily candle close lower than the downward sloping resistance. There's a chance for that. Right now we are above it. Getting a daily close above this resistance would say a lot. You know, if we did get a daily close right here, I would expect that we're probably going to consolidate into this range, test this downward sloping resistance as potential support, and possibly pop out of here, right? And get another high, possibly creating a higher high, right? This is the bullish case I see for Bitcoin, is if we do get a daily close above our downward sloping resistance, if this does close here, we would probably consolidate for a little bit, get a little back test, something, before another bounce. But overall, I don't expect this run to last too much longer. I mean, it could potentially go on another week or two if we get a consolidation with a daily close above our downward sloping resistance, and we get some consolidation here and pop out of here. It could last a little longer in that event. But guys, if we do actually start topping out here, right? Like if this thing actually starts topping out here, starts pulling back, and we get below our downward sloping resistance line from the overall trend, this could just be a false breakout right here, guys. It could be a false breakout. And if we pull back below this downward sloping resistance, I would say that yes, it is a false breakout. We're probably going to see a nice pullback. But for now, we're above it. For now, we could back test this thing and bounce out of here, right? For now, as long as we're above that resistance, I mean, we got to remain somewhat bullish. Although I personally would not do anything with this right now. I would not touch this, right? Because again, guys, I'm a long-term guy, right? Like I don't care about, like I keep updated with the daily moves, but I don't feel the need to be a participant in every move. That's just not my style. That's not how I like to do things. Let me just real quick get to the chat. Sorry, I think I'm behind on chat right now. What's up, guys? Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a while since we did a live stream here. Ricky says, still in the downtrend, has to go over 6K. Wait, sorry, I just scrolled away from that. Sorry, I just lost that comment. Let me find it one more time. Ricky says, still in the downtrend, has to go over 6K and above to break the downtrend. Well, let's take a look. So here's the interesting thing, guys. Yes, that's true. I mean, like you have, I mean, it's probably more like 5,800 or so, but a big indicator for a possible shift in the trend overall is our outermost resistance line. This thing right here. What I'm expecting from the market is if we do make it up here, I would expect that this is going to act as some major resistance for quite some time. It would probably be enough resistance to get us to hit lower prices. This is what I would expect if we do actually reach that resistance point. And if we actually break above it, if we break above our outermost resistance point here, right? If we pull back, maybe we pop out of here, we're trading sideways or something, I would actually expect in this event that we break our outermost resistance, I would expect in this event that we would probably actually be at the bottom and that our low would be coming in at the next low we get. That would probably be the lowest prices we see for Bitcoin. If we can cross this downward sloping resistance, I would expect that this could very well be the bottom, but we would have to test our low at least one more time. Right? If we just kept moving up like this, I wouldn't be too convinced by that. I would want to see a break through our outermost resistance and another test of our low at 3,100. And in that event, this could be the bottom. If we break our our outermost resistance, get another touch at 3,100, could be the bottom at that point, right? But I personally think that if we get, you know, coming up to this resistance, we're going to probably get rejected from this for quite some time. I think we're going to actually get rejected off of this line for quite some time, and that's how we're going to find ourselves at lower prices. In between here and then, guys, right? In between that, I mean, you know, Bitcoin can do whatever it wants. Obviously, like I'm not necessarily here for the short-term moves, guys. Right? I analyze everything, but you know, this move doesn't really excite me. Guys, like look at the chart. Guys, look at the chart. What price are we at right now? 3,900. Okay, we were at 3,900 late November. We saw it again late November. Early December, we saw 3,900. Bounced up 3,900. Bounced up 3,900. Bounced down, bounced up, and we're back at 3,900. Great. Amazing. FOMO? No. Like, no. Like, I just... like, people were so depressed in this whole area. Oh, man, Bitcoin just dropped so low. And it does this, and now everyone's like, bull market. It's just like, it's the writing's on the wall, guys. Institutions are not going to want to accumulate Bitcoin with everybody here, with the retail investors, traders. It's still too, in my opinion, it's just a little bit too noisy right now in this space for me to think that we've bottomed. It's just so much involvement from everybody that I don't know if I could say that we bottomed, guys. I don't think so. Let me just go through chat real quick. Somebody says, we don't know how this will pan out, but this is some of the most positive action we've seen in months based on a few indicators. That is absolutely true, guys. Absolutely true. Somebody says, just close my position, to be honest. Guys, what I say should not influence what you're doing, right? It should just be some like background noise that you just, it's a secondary opinion. I should not be, don't trade on what I'm saying, guys. Ghost, what's up, man? He says, let me throw you in as a mod here. He says, been 3x long on Ethereum and Bitcoin debating selling half of each position? Question mark. I mean, it depends. Like, you know, you got to make your own decision, right? Like, do you think we're overextended? Personally, I do. Personally, I think it's actually quite likely that, I mean, guys, the most likely scenarios right now is not a continued run, right? It's either that our daily candle is going to close red below this downward sloping resistance, or we just trade sideways, consolidate into our support here, and potentially bounce out. So I think right now the price is either just going to go sideways or pull back. I highly doubt for a continued run, although it is completely possible, but I don't know. That's just me, guys. Again, this move right here has been so... It's a lot of, guys, there's a lot of emotion. This run, you can just see it. You can see it in there. Just the way the price action looks, there's so much emotion in this. It's crazy. It's crazy. Got a couple Kirby references. Yo, Crypto Cali, what's up, dude? What's going on, man? Welcome. Okay, I'm here. Did I miss something? Says Yippee. No, guys, we're just sitting at some of the highest prices we've seen in the past. You know, since our last high over here, we're sitting at the highest prices we've seen. So I just decided to go live, right? Personally, I think we might be topping out here. I think it's pretty damn likely. At minimum, we're going to get a back test, right? And you know, if we could potentially close this daily candle above here, which again, if we do close above this line, this downward sloping resistance, I would expect that we consolidate here and we'll see what happens from there. But if we close above here, we'll probably get some nice sideways trading, another sort of similar action here, most likely. If we close below, I mean, you can see some nice moves to the downside pretty fast. So you're not really missing anything. I just decided to go live. Haven't been live in a while. We're sitting at some of the highest prices we've seen in a while. So figured it'd be an interesting time. Telex. Tell me when to buy. That's your #1 comment on my channel. That's hilarious. I don't want to click on your link. I'm a little afraid to do that right now. I'll do it after the stream. Is the lighting... Are we good here? Is there enough light here? Sorry, guys. I'm just going through chat real quick. So many Kirby references in here. It's amazing. When Toyota? I don't know. Ventilos, what's up? Welcome back. Sorry, I'm behind on chat. This is just too much. Urban V says, Kevin, what price do we need to break for trend reversal? For, well, what do you mean? Like what, like, you talking about the overall trend or the short-term trend? Right, we have, you know, there's a trend here happening, right? We have a trend taking place here since, you know, February 6th, February 7th. This is a nice, you know, a short-term trend right here, but our overall trend is still bearish. So you gotta just, you know, let me know what you mean. At what price would you get a FOMO? How high does it need to go for me to FOMO? I mean, guys, if... What price would it take for me to FOMO? That's not really the... That's not... I don't know if that's the question you would want to ask, really. Because, guys... First off, I've been accumulating, so I don't really need to FOMO. If, guys, if Bitcoin, like, just went like this... If Bitcoin just went like this, I wouldn't touch it, actually. I would just keep what I have. I would just keep the stuff that I've been accumulating, and I wouldn't touch it, right? Because at any point that you make an entry here, you're risking that you're going to get wrecked, right? So if Bitcoin did this, I wouldn't even touch it. I would just keep what I have. I wouldn't touch it, right? That's how I approach markets, guys, right? FOMO for the rest of the market? Yes. Guys, FOMO for the rest of the market would definitely start kicking in around 42. If we break 42.50, right now we have not been able to get above 42.50. If we break 42.50, what I would expect is probably a really nice wick. A really nice wick. And probably an immediate return. If we break 42.50, I would expect a huge wick probably. Wait, my alert went off. Why? Why did that just go off? Oh, we're pulling back a little bit here. So, getting a little bit of a pullback, not too much just yet. Daily RSI over 70. Any comments, guys? I don't like looking at the RSI for Bitcoin because I mean, if you guys like. I mean, just look at the RSI for, like, everything. Like, look how overextended the RSI was. I can't pull the chart any further back here. I mean, just look at the 3-day, I guess. Look how overextended the RSI was for the entire bull run. Right? The RSI on the downside, guys, we could be overextended here for quite some time and just continue to sell off and just be overextended to the downside and just continue to sell off. Right? I don't like to trade with the RSI or make an analysis with the RSI for Bitcoin necessarily. I don't like to rely on it. It's useful. I don't like to rely on it. I'm up 1,000 in the last 2 days. Nice. Somebody says, look at the 50 EMA crossing over. Mr. C. Vicious, what's up, dude? He says, look at the 50 EMA crossing over the 200 EMA. The 4-hour chart. I find this uptrend. I find the uptrend so weird. Yeah, guys, the uptrend. This whole uptrend has been caused by like a quick spark of just like insane amount of enthusiasm. All of a sudden, Bitcoin's the new paradigm, like out of nowhere, right? Like, so guys, some of the news that I've seen recently is that the NASDAQ has been exposing Bitcoin and Ethereum prices to their traders. The NASDAQ is like showing their traders what the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum are, which is interesting. Bitmain has new ASIC chips, which has increased the hash rate of Bitcoin. Which, I mean, it either means that we have a lot of new miners or the new ASICs are really damn powerful. We have a new MUSIG privacy digital signature, a new upgrade or a new development for Bitcoin, where some of the developers are trying to create a more private solution for Bitcoin by creating some sort of upgrade to the digital way the digital signatures work. Also, JP Morgan Coin talking about saving money for their clients. BS, they're just in competition with crypto now. So like this is the kind of news. Oh yeah, and the whole pension fund thing, right? We have the whole people are talking about like, oh, pension funds are buying crypto. Like, no, that's actually not what's happening right now. There was one pension fund who is looking for an investment in crypto companies, right? We had one pension fund that was looking for investments in crypto startups and companies. They're not buying Bitcoin, not yet. They probably will. But I'm saying right now that pension fund thing is a bit of fake news. It was a pension fund looking for an investment in crypto startup companies, not Bitcoin, right? So that was a bit of fake news. Probably contributed to this because the whole idea behind the whole pension fund thing is like, oh, once one does one, like once one pension fund invests in Bitcoin, then they're all just going to fall into Bitcoin and it'll fly. The price will be flying, but it's not going to happen that fast, guys. But the whole pension fund thing was a bit of fake news because really they're just investing in crypto companies, not Bitcoin. Edward Park, what's up, man? Crypto Cali host beef. What's going on, guys? A lot of familiar faces in here. Gerard says Bitcoin to 1K, please. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, guys. Not sure if we're going to get that low. So you're saying it can go up or down. That is exactly what I'm saying. It could go up. It could go down. Smash that like button, guys. I'm just joking, but Tone and Hyperwave say 1K. Yeah, I know, guys. I'll do Svensk. Yes, I am Swedish. I can't really speak that much Swedish, though. I can speak more German than I can Swedish, but yes, I am Swedish. I'm actually a Swedish citizen. Fun fact, I am a Swedish citizen. Is it a bull trap? I believe so. I mean, guys, things can stay pretty irrational for quite some time, right? Like it's not like it has to end. I mean, this whole move has been a disrespect of TA. Everything's just overextended, right? Complete disrespect of TA. I mean, in the beginning, yeah, you got a nice pop. This was totally, made sense. But just the way this executed was a bit irrational. But you know what, guys? That's what this market is. And this thing can stay irrational and it could just keep going up, right? It doesn't have to respect any TA, actually. When you have that type of emotion involved, it doesn't have to respect anything. But personally, I do think we're topping out. I do think that right now the market is probably realizing, like, overall, collectively, that, okay, well, maybe this is just a little too much. Like, it seems like the overexuberance is dying down a little bit right now. But we'll see. I mean, again, as long as we're holding above our downward sloping resistance, you got to stay bullish short term. If we break below this, we'll probably backtest it and have a nice sell-off. But for now, we're above it, right? So for now, we're holding. For now, we're bouncing off of it. We could have a backtest and continue to bounce off of it, right? So for now, support's holding. It's continuing to stay bullish for now. But again, if we break our downward sloping resistance, which has now turned into a little bit of support, if we break below that, I would expect some, some downside, some pretty quick price action to the downside. Let's see. Is Dogecoin a joker? Oh, that's interesting. Somebody says, ASMR class said, is Dogecoin a joke or is there something there? Interesting that you say that because I got this article right here. So this little piece of news here, Ethereum's Vitalik Buterin discloses non-Ethereum crypto holdings and other revenue sources. So Ethereum, so Vitalik discloses what he's holding other than Ethereum. Interesting stuff here. Ready? So he's got Bitcoin Cash, he's got Bitcoin, he's got Dogecoin, and he's got Zcash, and then 90% of his holdings are Ethereum. But he's got Bitcoin Cash, he's got Bitcoin, he's got Dogecoin, and he's got Zcash. Now think about this, guys. This guy, Vitalik, is extremely well versed with everything that's going on. Obviously, he's spearheading the entire industry. He's like the spokesman for crypto in our generation, right? And he's holding Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and Zcash. He's not holding a bunch of shit coins. He's holding some pretty OG coins here, right? Some pretty original stuff. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Zcash. So if you're holding a bunch of shit coins right now, just look at it. Look at Vitalik. What is he doing? Well, he's sticking to the originals. He's not sitting there, you know. I mean, we're all speculating here, but he's not speculating with a bunch of shit coins, right? So I think this is a pretty interesting thing here. Vitalik's holding Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Zcash. Interesting stuff. So let's see what is Bitcoin doing right now. Again, guys, this line you see is our downward sloping resistance that we've hit the most. We are technically in a breakout right now, holding above that resistance. But you know, we'll see, right? We're just bounced off this a couple times, turn it into support for now. And if we, you know, we're gonna see if we can back test it, if we can turn it into support, you know, find more support or break lower. We'll see. Oh, let's not forget that somebody, as Anthony says, let's not forget that the 2020 Bitcoin halving is not that far away. This is true, guys, but you can't get too excited too fast either. It's still more than a year away, right? What is it, May of 20, what is it? Is it March or May of 2020 next year? You can't get too excited, you know, like yet. You can't expect that just because the halving is next year, over a year from now, that the price is just going to start going up now. Not yet, guys. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of chat here. Yeah, a lot of people keep saying $1,000 Bitcoin. I don't think so, guys. I think that Tone Vays and Tyler Jenks are probably going to regret making these predictions. Probably. And then maybe I regret making that statement, and it does hit 1,000. But I'm just telling you guys what I think. Yeah, guys. I mean, you can't just get excited by each green weekly candle to the upside or whatever. Like, it's just, you gotta think, guys, markets take time. That's one thing. If there's anything you've learned from my channel by now, it's that things take time, guys. Things take a long time, right? You don't see one candle to the upside and bull market started. Guys, like, think a little more rationally there. I mean, guys, again, we're still holding above our resistance, which is new support. And this thing could continue to go up. Could just continue to be irrational forever. Right? Or not forever, but for a long time. But for personally, if I had to take a bet right now, which I'm not betting on anything, I would say that we're gonna have a pullback and probably break below our downward sloping resistance. I love TAs lose their faces. I don't even know what that means. Sorry, just going through chat real quick. Just one sec, guys. Warum kannst du nicht Schwedisch sprechen? So interesting story about that, Gerald. My first 3 languages were actually German, Swedish, and English. But the problem is that I spoke them all at once, right? My sentences were all mixed with German, Swedish, and English. And when I went to school, like kindergarten, I couldn't communicate. People were like, "What? Like, what are you saying?" I'm like saying like 2 words in English and the rest is German and Swedish. So my teacher or whatever like scared my parents into not speaking all these languages. So that's, you know, and I kind of lost my memory for Swedish. I did retain the German though. And it was weird because I am a Swedish citizen. It's a little backwards there, but just go through chat real quick, guys, before we continue. Maximilian says, guys, hyperwave theory is just a theory. Yeah, so guys, I was watching Tyler Jenks stream the other day. Not to like, guys, I think Tyler Jenks is extremely experienced. He's very smart. He knows a ton about everything to do with market cycles, economy, all that stuff. He's very smart, guys. But I don't know. Tyler Jenks doesn't really seem to know too much about Bitcoin as a monetary innovation, as a technology. It seems, I could be completely wrong and just sound like an idiot right now, but I don't think he's really like looking into the technology as much as he should. Like, guys, the potential for Bitcoin to grow is huge. Like, it does, like when fiat, when the economy starts, when traditional markets and fiat in other countries, like their fiat start failing, people are going to start piling onto Bitcoin, right? As the fiat system starts failing, you're going to see like Venezuelans come on here, people from Zimbabwe. All these smaller countries are going to start falling onto falling back on Bitcoin, and it's going to be this slow progression, right? And then if fiat system continues to fail, Bitcoin will become much more popular. I don't think that fiat's ever going to go away, guys, but it's going to be a great fallback for a lot of these countries with reckless governments and terrible monetary policies. Bitcoin's going to be a great fallback. And once it becomes, you know, it's so accessible now, guys, right? Getting a hold of Bitcoin now is pretty damn easy. Like, people now, on our first bull run, people didn't really know what to do. They had no idea. They're like, oh, Coinbase? Is that an app? Like, how do I do that, right? Now everyone kind of knows. Everyone kind of knows that you can, it's pretty easy to obtain Bitcoin. There's ATMs, there's this and that, right? So I don't think it's going to be as bearish as Tyler Jenks thinks. I don't think so, guys. I think things are moving just fast enough for this thing to not drop down to previous highs here and break our long-term growth pattern, right? Tyler Jenks essentially thinks that we're going to break our long-term growth pattern and do something that Bitcoin's never done before, right? We had this run, like you never return that low in big, you know. I mean, you have like these in-between bull runs. I don't know, it's hard to say whether we're going to return to this. I don't think so, guys. I think that the industry is developing enough for us to not return to $1,000. That's all I'm trying to say. I mean, there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin, and if they're all worth $1,000, that's going to be eaten up so fast, guys. It's going to be eaten up so fast. How is the volume on the recent uptrend? It's decent. It's decent. I made my video yesterday, and the volume wasn't all that great, but we saw a decent. It became pretty consistent, right? There was a lot of overexuberance, a lot of volume continued to push into the market, so it was decent, but you know, it's nothing super. It's not like, again, it's not macro trend reversal, bear market's over type of volume, guys. It's not that at all, right? Guys, even if the price were to, you know, do some right, let's just say like the price, you know, we have a huge push to the upside. Even guys, even in this event, it doesn't mean that the bull market started. It'll look like it. You'll be like, holy crap, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, guys. Like, just like looking at the previous areas that you know, Bitcoin saw a low, a higher low, a huge wick. In comparison, this is like 6K, but this is, you know, going from $280 to, you know, $480. Like, you had a low, a higher low, huge wick back to these levels, and then you sell off, right? Just think about how crazy over exuberant the market would become, right? If we just traded up here, had a huge wick, just imagine what people would be saying. Just how much volume would come in here, right? And then it just turns around. You know how I think that would honestly be a great move to shake out to shake out people, to get the market a little bit quieter, so the institutions can start, you know, accumulating at proper levels without getting this crazy over exuberance, right? Guys, I have not streamed live in quite some time, so I'm trying to get back into this right now. I'm probably not as on point as usual, but it's okay, guys. I'll get there again. You know, as things become more interesting, I'll probably live stream more. Someone says, I think we break 4K today. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, we could. I'm interested to see if this daily candle is going to close here, right? If we close above this downward sloping resistance line, you know, you can see a nice consolidation here and a potential continuation, right? You know, if you close below, I mean, you'd probably see some pretty harsh moves, right? Pretty wacky price action to the downside, possibly. If we close this below. But we still have, what, 6.5 hours now for this daily close? Why don't you draw the outer trend line like in your last tweet? What do you mean? I think, guys, didn't this is exactly how I drew it right here. This is exactly how I drew it. What do you mean? I mean, you're probably just looking at this zoomed in, but this is the outer trend line that I drew. The printing of more money and money is going to collapse fiat. Yeah, guys, the monetary system that we have is insane. Do you guys understand how screwed up fractional reserve banking is? Do you guys want like a lesson on how screwed up our monetary system is? And why Bitcoin could actually solve a ton of problems? Guys, like, I don't know, this might bore some people if I start talking about you know, banking, Federal Reserve banking, but it explains why Bitcoin could solve a lot of problems. So like, how should I explain this? This is why I do have a lot of faith in Bitcoin, guys, because look, okay, so you have your central banks, right? Can you guys see this, or is this too small? You guys just enlarge the screen, right? Your central banks, your fractional reserve bankers. What do they do, guys? What do the fractional reserve banks do? Again, I'm not an expert on this, but you know, maybe someone can correct me if I get something wrong. But what do central banks and fractional reserve bankers do, guys? They issue money right? They create the money and they issue it. It is their property. It is their product that they are issuing, right? And over here you have banks, governments, corporations, and people, right? So what do? We allowed the central bank to issue us money, right? We accept it. We take the contract, right? We sign the contract. We say, sure, we'll take that money. We'll take that contract. Just give me the money now. It's convenient, right? We take the contract. We say, sure, we'll pay that back. Just give me the money now. We don't even think about what's going on right now, okay? So what's happening here? The fractional reserve bankers are creating money out of thin air. They're printing it. They are issuing something with perceived value that actually has no value. And what's happening here is they are actually just adding value to themselves. By printing this money, they are adding value to themselves, right? And then we receive the money, which is actually just debt. Why is it just debt? Well, because it all has to go back to them. Not only that, but it has to go back to them plus the interest, baby, right? Plus the interest, right? So what's really happening here, guys, is the central banks, the fractional reserve bankers, are issuing money, which is just printed out of nothing. They add that to their balance sheet. They say, plus 100 billion, right? They issue that money. The banks, governments, corporations, and people, we take that on. We say, sure, we'll take that. We'll sign that contract. Just give me the money now. We don't even think about it. What they're doing is they're issuing us debt. They're saying, take this debt, pay it back plus some, right? And they have no limit on what they can do, how much they can print. They don't, the Federal Reserve is not part of the United States. They are a private enterprise. There is no limit to what they can do, guys. This is a problem, right? We have an entity that issues debt. We take on the debt because it's somehow convenient for us. And then in the long run, we're sitting there with infinite amount of debt to pay back, guys. We're sitting there with an infinite amount of debt to pay back. Now, let's take this, guys, now let's think about this, right? How could Bitcoin solve this? Right, because the problem here is that the Federal Reserve, the central banks, have infinite power, that's an infinity symbol, to print money. Right? So this game can just keep going. They can just create value for themselves. We end up creating the value for them. That's what we're doing. We're actually taking on this debt and we're creating value for them. We're adding no value to ourselves. In fact, the underlying currency, the US dollar, just decreases in value. This entire process, US dollar just declines because there's just more printing, right? So our wealth is being drained out of our country, out of our economy. So how can this be solved, guys? Well, let's just take this same thing, right? Let's just say Satoshi Nakamoto. Let's say Satoshi Nakamoto is the central bank. Let's just hypothetically pretend that we've given Satoshi Nakamoto the power to issue Bitcoin infinitely, right? Let's say Satoshi's the central bank and the US said, hey, Satoshi, you can print money for us. You know how to do that, right? You know how to keep, you know how to get that, just like we do the central banks, right? Just imagine that this is Satoshi and Satoshi's issuing infinite Bitcoin. We gave him the power to print Bitcoin infinitely. How would that make you feel? How would that make you feel if Satoshi could print Bitcoin infinitely and just mint it, issue it, mint it, issue it? You'd be like, what the hell? That's stupid. I don't want Bitcoin anymore. It's infinite. Well, that's what we're doing with the fractional reserve banks and the central banks, guys. We're just letting them print money infinitely and put us in debt, and we have to pay back the debt plus interest, and we never get out of the debt. So how can you solve this? What you do is you get a currency like Bitcoin and create a finite supply, right? You got Bitcoin here. And you say, well, there can only be 21 million of these, right? You say there's only 21 million. So what's happening here? You're creating a currency with, it's hard money. It's hard money because it's limited, right? So this is how you solve it. You create a currency with a limited supply. Now, if there is a bank, which is no longer central, can't be central anymore because they have to use Bitcoin. Now, if you have a bank making a loan, right? They hand out that loan. We take the contract, we say, sure, we'll pay that back. We'll pay it back plus interest too. That's fine, right? It's all fine. It's the same process, but why is this better now? Why is this now better? Because, let's just say this is you. Why is this system better with a limited supply than the system here with unlimited supply and infinite debt? Well, because this system, the bank makes the loan, but what are they doing? They're not printing it infinitely. They're not infinitely printing. They have to draw from the supply of Bitcoin. They have to pull from the Bitcoin supply, right? And all this is just pulling from the limited 21 million. So what happens? The value of Bitcoin goes up exponentially, continuously, right? Why does the US dollar go down continuously? Because it's being printed infinitely. It's just debt. If you have Bitcoin, hard money, limited supply, banks can make loans, and the value of it will just go up because there's a finite supply and it's being used, it's being circulated, and it's limited, right? So that is why this is how Bitcoin can actually solve our monetary issues, simply by being limited and decentralized and trustless, right? I hope I explained that well. If not, well, screw it. But yeah, guys, our banking system is screwed, right? And cryptocurrencies actually have the potential to solve some problems. Now, it's not going to be an easy fight, right? The central banks, the fractional reserve bankers are not going to be giving up their power that easily, guys, right? Let's see what's going on here. Bitcoin's still holding its level. You guys, the money that you have is just debt. It's not your property. It's actually the property of the Federal Reserve. It's their property, literally. They're not part of the U.S. They're a private enterprise. A private enterprise issues us our money, and we somehow trust them. We somehow let the Federal Reserve just do their thing. It's insane. Yeah, guys, I forgot to mention a key point. Fractional reserve banks, the reason why a fractional reserve bank is called a fractional reserve bank is because they don't actually have to have full reserves. They don't have to have a backup, you know, they don't have to have backup funds. They just hold like 10% of what they're actually issuing. So the value is just completely made up. And, oh my God, don't even get me started on the bank deposit issue. That's just crazy. Where one bank deposit can be 9x'd. Every bank deposit you make can actually be 9x'd. Where like if you make a deposit in a bank, say you make a deposit in a bank of let's just say it's 100 million, right? Let's just say the government makes a huge deposit or something. It's not even that much, but let's just say you deposit 100 million in the bank. Well, the bank is now supposed to take 10% of that to just, you know, use as reserve, right? But it's fractional reserve, so they don't need full reserve, right? But the funny thing is that in our banking system, if you make a deposit and the bank takes that 10%, they're not deducting it from your amount. They're just creating it. They're just creating it, guys, right? Let's just say you deposit 100 million. The bank will say, all right, we're going to take 10% for a reserve, but your balance still stays the same. They're just printing it out of nothing, guys. And then they can take this new deposit. They can also break that down and take 10% out of that one too. But this balance stays the same. This balance stays the same. But you got this new deposit with more. It's just, guys, our banking system is just nuts. And you can do this like 9 times all the way down the line. So the original 100 million turns into a lot more. Crazy stuff, guys. All we do is print money. It's just nuts, right? And Bitcoin actually can solve this insanity that we are in right now, that I don't even think the establishment knows how to stop it at this point. They're just going with it. And Bitcoin actually can solve that problem. Sorry, I probably missed a ton of chat with all that. So Bitcoin is still holding this level. I mean, we could continue to get a bounce up. Of course. But guys, it's looking really toppy. It's looking really toppy. The second that a sell-off gets initiated, it's probably gonna cause some pretty quick moves to the downside. But again, just like here, guys. Can I draw? There you go. Right. I mean, we could just be seeing something like this again, right? We could just be hanging out up here for a while. Sorry guys, I missed a ton of chat. Why? Someone says, why should the Federal Reserve banks need full reserves? Well, they should have at least majority. I mean, because then there's no value. There's no value. It's nothing. It's just not. It's just nothing. Somebody said you spend more than half your life earning money. What he is talking about is important. Do you know how money is made? Yeah, guys, I'm just talking about the origin of our currency, underlying currency here in the United States. It's just completely screwed, guys. Issuing money stimulates the economy sometimes. Yeah, I mean, guys, yeah, again, like if you're looking at a chart and it's just like, it's just going like this and it's like, oh, let's just pump it. It's like, okay, great, but you're still going down. Like, it doesn't really solve it, you know? Why do I look so red? Why am I red? It looks like my skin is all orange and red. Let's see. Sorry, guys, just going through chat again. Novogratz is bullish. Tonevase is bearish, says somebody. I watched Tonevase stream last night. It didn't seem... Actually, no, he was... I think he was short-term bullish. I think he's medium-term bullish, short-term bearish. No, he's short-term bearish, medium-term bullish, long-term... Semi-long-term bearish, and then long-term bullish. Something like that. I forget. I know what prices he's looking for. Sorry, guys. Just go through chat one more time. Basil G says, but if they crash the market, I'll be able to buy more. But what are you buying it with? Are you talking about? Oh, you talking about crypto, or are you talking about fiat? Because we were just talking about fiat. I'm slightly confused. MRAK, what's up? And he says, Kev, did you hear about BitGo wallet? Will insure a person's crypto and insure company ensuring the crypto is authorized by UK Financial Authority. Wait, so there's somebody who's actually insuring crypto now? That's interesting. Somebody says, one possibility is that Bitcoin's value... I'm just reading chat, guys. One possibility is that Bitcoin's value always going up as a mainstream currency wouldn't cause a liquidity problem with too many people holding instead of spending in the economy. I mean, guys, right now, the reason why Bitcoin's not being spent is because it's not like, you know, it hasn't like really made it. Like, it hasn't really, like, made it to the point where, like, you can be, like, signing up for car insurance and paying in Bitcoin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it hasn't, like, made it there yet. So, of course, there's just a limitation. There's just a limitation right now for Bitcoin. You can't just... I can't go to the bank and say, hey, I want to exchange this for Bitcoin. I can't go down the street to my grocery store and say, hey, I want to pay for this in Bitcoin. It just can't happen yet. So that's why it's not really being spent yet. Guys, I'm pretty sure that if Bitcoin was like just accepted everywhere, it would probably get spent more than you probably think. I think it would get spent more than you think, which would actually stabilize the price. But The whole Captain Happy, what's up, man? He says the whole banking system is quite a nasty rabbit hole. There's more and more things to wonder if it never stops. Yeah, it is quite crazy. Basically, they lent 9x times the deposit. This is basic economics. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could say that it's basic, but it's so effed up. It's so effed up, guys. Fractional reserve banking is absolutely effed up. Michael Barker, what's up, man? Do I have a long-term price target for the next bull run? Guys, it really depends. Like, you know, you can look at the overall chart here for Bitcoin, and you know, you could just assume that, like, oh, this bull run's going to be the same, right? We're just going to, like, you know, just do this again, and then we're just going to do this again, and just do this again. Like, yeah, if that's how I'm going to, you know, get my target, then yeah, what, like 100K, there's my target, right? But that's not, I can't say that, right? I can't say that because we don't know what this market is going to look like, right? What if the next bull market is just something like this? What if this is what the next bull market looks like, guys? You know what I mean? This whole industry is so new, guys. It's so uncharted. It's like, it's hard to just be like, oh, you know, this is my target. What institutional money are we waiting on? Oh, only just trillions of dollars. You know, what's Bitcoin's market cap right now? 60, 70 billion? That's nothing, guys. 60, 70 billion? What, Bill Gates is worth that much? It's nothing, guys. We're waiting for trillions, which will take time. It's not going to happen all at once. Institutions they're not just going to drop all their capital in at once. Oh yeah, Basil G says, Kevin, new crypto laws in Wyoming. You'll be able to go to any bank and exchange crypto for stuff by March 1st. See, that's interesting. There's that development you're looking for, right? That's just the start. Yeah, that's another problem. How if you're a merchant, how can you price your merchandise directly with Bitcoin, with the ever-changing price? It's, yeah. I mean, guys, as we're moving into the future, right? Like, I'm sure you'll be able to get some sort of solution for all these things, right? The industry just needs to be developed. It just needs to be developed, guys. In my opinion, the industry's just not ready for a huge bull market. Like, we're not there just yet, guys. Like, we need like another year of actual development. Like, we just entered, guys, we just entered the bear market, right? We had some horizontal price action, and now we saw lower lows. I don't think it's over right now, guys. Like, I don't think it's over just yet. Like, it's funny. Bitcoin's price drops, and everyone's just like, oh, it's dead. Oh, it's dead. All of a sudden, we go up a little bit. Oh, my God. Next bull market, it's like, what? Yeah, I mean, BitPay, yeah, you can use BitPay. Of course, I'm pretty sure they charge a lot, though, right? The whole thing is a farce anyway. They make slaves. The Goer, what's up? Yeah, the Goer. You actually, your comment today inspired me to go live. I saw your comment, and I was like, you know what? let's just go live. So for that inspiration, I'm gonna throw you as a moderator here. I feel like there's a bunch of people in here that should be mods. I'm sorry if you're like been here a lot and you're not a mod. Marston says, "Hey, good evening. What's up?" Where do you live, guys? I live on the East Coast in the USA. No, guys, I'm not shorting. Not shorting. Again, I really dislike worrying about, like, guys, everybody has a different approach to this market, right? There is no one right way to do this, guys. There's no one right way to get involved in the market and do short-term, long-term trading. Like, there are wrong ways to do it, but there's no one right way. I am not looking for day trades. I'm not looking for swing trades. I'm looking for macro trend signals, macro trend reversals. I want to play the long-term swings. I don't like to worry about what my money is doing every day. It's just a stress that I just don't need it, right? I just don't need to do that, right? So I'd rather just get in at proper levels and just and see where the market takes me. Just wait for macro trend signals. For me, it's just perfect for me, guys, and that's just me, right? I just personally don't feel the need to trade because the more often, guys, the reality, the statistics show, especially like experienced traders, this doesn't really apply to you, but on average, the more often your money is going in and out of the market, in and out, the more often your money is going in and out of the market, the more likely you are to take losses. I mean, that's actually it's like common sense, but it's true. All right, guys. So what are we seeing here in Bitcoin? Again, guys, I personally think this is getting pretty toppy. You're looking for that bounce off of your, again, guys, smash the likes if you haven't smashed the likes already. That would be much appreciated. So you're looking for your downward sloping resistance right here, looking to back test it, see if it can turn into support. Right? Technically, we are in a breakout right now of our formation. Right? Yesterday we were sitting at around 3,800. Now we're sitting up at, we just got rejected on 4,000 off of 4,000 here on Bitstamp. Technically, this is a breakout out of our formation. Technically, is it going to last? We'll see, right? We got another 5 or 6 hours left on this daily candle. We'll see if we close above. If we close above, we'll probably get some sideways consolidation. If we close below, then I would expect that we're going to see some pretty harsh moves to the downside, most likely. But you're looking for a back test of your support right now, guys. You're looking for a back test. Can it turn into support? Or sorry, can it continue to be support? Will we test it and actually break down? And then in that event, I think we would be seeing some pretty harsh action to the downside, right? But we'll see if right now our support is pretty horizontal, slightly down sloping. We'll see if $3,840 can continue to be support or not. But at this point, you'd be looking for a nice back test to test that support, right? Yeah, how about adopting cryptos so we can create an economy that doesn't lose value? I agree. Though it's just not going to happen. Like the banks are going to, they're not going to let go of fiat, guys. Banks are not just going to let it go. They'll put up a fight. You guys, day trading in crypto is it's, man, is it tricky, right? Like, that's why I don't do it. You know, like, it's just so, like, you know, the way that Bitcoin trades is not like based really on anything. It's not based on like real world events like the stock market would be. Like, Bitcoin trades based on like emotional, you know, just like people's emotions. So it's really wacky. Like day trading Bitcoin is really damn tough. Like, I think Bitcoin is better used as a scalping tool, which is technically obviously a day trade, but extremely short-term trades, I guess that's more, you might as well just get a freaking bot or an algo. Right? I mean, people, you know, the price spread on exchanges is what people like. I have a feeling that the crypto market is going to be a huge testing ground for automated trading. I have a feeling that the crypto market is going to be abused heavily for algos and bots. Like, it already is, but I'm thinking like the innovations that we see in algorithmic trading and bot trading are probably going to come from the crypto market soon. Because it's not regulated, you can do crazy shit, right? So you'll probably see a lot of innovations coming from the crypto market for algo and bot trading. I think that's going to be the main source of innovation for algos and bots. Will be the crypto market. Guys, yeah, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Smash that like button as well. We're almost at 100 likes right now. Just looking at my phone here. So we'll see. We'll see, guys. Probably not going to be streaming for that much longer. Bitcoin is going to be like baseball card collecting? How? How is that even? Guys, study what Bitcoin is. Learn what it really is. Understand what's actually going on here. It's not a baseball card. Bitcoin is not a baseball card, guys. Learn the fundamentals of Bitcoin. I recommend, this is not paid promotion, I recommend Ivan on Tech. Ivan on Tech has fantastic courses for anybody to learn the fundamentals of crypto. You can learn smart contract programming, all the fundamentals of Bitcoin. Ivan on Tech, awesome courses. Not paid promotion, I'm literally just saying this for free. Free shout out for Ivan. Awesome courses, guys. Right, guys, and before you start speculating on Bitcoin, like, learn what's going on, understand the technology, learn what you're buying, and understand where the value could be coming from for this technology. Guys, is the John saying that I understand fundamentals, but anarchy is not going to happen in Bitcoin will be the #1 thing? Guys, Bitcoin can thrive in a non-anarchist market. Guys, you don't need anarchy. Anthony says, just remember this very simple thing. The longer BTC stays around, the stronger it gets. I would actually have to agree with that. As long, because Bitcoin is the world's first proof. It's the world's first proof that blockchain technology works. That's pretty valuable, right? Bitcoin has been out for 10 years, and not once has it been hacked. I mean, it's arguable, but it hasn't been fundamentally destroyed, right? Like, everybody wants to hack Bitcoin. Bitcoin is being targeted for hackers, is constantly being targeted for hacks, and it's still good to go. It shows you that blockchain works. World's first proof, World's first public implementation of blockchain. Still going, baby. Still going. Do I think Dash will have more adoption in South America? I don't know why that would be. Guys, Bitcoin is going to be... I mean, guys, right now it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. Those are the only 3 coins I would possibly buy right now. But I mean 90% Bitcoin, right? Like if I was gonna be buying all 3, which I'm not right now, I'm not buying the altcoins right now, but I'm saying if I was, it would be 90% Bitcoin, and then the rest, you know, whatever. Guys, the reason I don't like EOS, is that what this person's saying? ESO? Guys, EOS, you know, there's on-chain governance. The guys who control the blockchain can basically, you know, confiscate funds, reverse transactions, reset the blockchain, right? I don't like that. Just my personal preference, though. What is Kevin saying, up or down? I mean, guys, I don't know. Guys, it's interesting, right? We've had such a strong move to the upside. And we're above our downward sloping resistance. So this right here is a breakout. We've actually broken out of our formation. Finally, right? You know, resistance, 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 breakout, right? So on our daily candle, we are still holding above. Riding that line, right? Bouncing off to support. But I'm not sure how much follow through you can possibly get at this level anymore, guys. I feel like the bulls are probably a bit exhausted, I would think. So if I had to pick a direction, if someone said, "Hey Kev, make a bet, pick a direction right now. Are we going here or here?" I would have to go down. I would have to go down, guys. This run has been pretty epic run. Where did we go from, guys? We went from $3,350 to $4,000. I think a pullback is in order. Seems like it, right? I love the people who were like, when Bitcoin was flying up, I just personally was not ready to stream here in the morning. Was not ready for it. And I already saw like 1,000 people streaming. So I was like, well, I'm just going to go to the gym instead. People were like, "Kev, why don't you go live when the price is going up?" It's like, it's just circumstance. I actually just really couldn't and didn't really want to, because I just woke up, hadn't even showered. And I was like, do I want to scramble to go live for this, or should I just like go to the gym? I just went to the gym instead. And also it just kept going. So I was like, I'll just wait for us to hit some sort of resistance. And here we are. So XRP Andy says Satoshi white paper said the day Bitcoin will be larger than life is when third world countries using them. Yeah, it's happening, guys. It is happening now, right? It's happening. The goer, why do you keep thinking I'm shorting? I feel like every time you come into my chat, you're like, "Are you shorting this? You shorting that?" I'm not shorting. Guys, every time I go live, people think I'm like in the middle of like some massive trade. Like I'm like going 100x short. Like, guys, I'm just going live. Like I'm just going live. Guys, if I was in the middle of a massive trade, the last thing I would do would be go live. That's the last thing I would do. Oh, you're talking to Crypto W. Oh, I got you. I got you. My bad. My bad. Let's see. Tron is the only coin with the real use case at the moment. Why? Why? What's the difference between Tron and Ethereum? Like, really? Like, why could you say that Tron has the real use case and Ethereum doesn't? Like, what is that coming from? He said shorting as soon as you can. Yeah, I got you. Crypto J says bear market's over. Everyone go on. So this is the kind of stuff that makes me think it's not over. Because everyone's still here. Everyone's like screaming bull market. Have I looked at Binance BNB? Yes, I've seen Binance BNB. Please do some research on BTT. Oh yeah, I forgot BitTorrent token. The token that the creator said like wouldn't even work or something. The CEO, what was it? Somebody from BitTorrent literally like said publicly that that BitTorrent token won't work. Somehow it's still getting some volume. I don't know. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. For now, at least. You know, we're just kind of going sideways. I don't really like to stream when it's going sideways, but I saw this thing wick up to 4,000, and I was like, let me just go live now. You know, we'll see. I mean, guys, again, as long as we're above our downward sloping resistance, as long as we're holding this, you know, you could still gain some momentum for another push to the upside, right? You can still gain that momentum, right? You can also just consolidate here, whatever. But if guys, I'm looking at this daily candle right here to see if we will close above, right? We have 5 hours and 45 minutes left. If this daily candle closes above our breakout zone, you know, that could indicate a few things. But if it doesn't, you know, I would say we're probably going to come back to retest our upsloping support quite quickly. Wait, Kevin, really? You think it's going to go that low? Yes, guys. I think if the price comes back into this area, we're probably going to be selling off, at least to here or something, right? Don't bend your baseball cards. Lambo coming soon. Guys, I wish you all the best. Good luck to everybody out there, no matter what you may be doing. Going long 100x, going short 100x. I'm just kidding. But, guys, good luck to everyone out there. Thank you guys for all. Yeah, wait, someone says, no way, look at the volume. Yeah, look at the volume. If this daily candle goes red, yeah, look at the volume. This daily candle would exceed in sell volume. If this goes red and pulls back, the sell volume would actually exceed and go negative, and you'd have a really nice ugly thing on your chart there, right? So things can change, guys. Things can change real fast. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate all you guys and just being here, you know, liking the video, subscribing if you haven't subscribed, doing all that stuff, clicking all the buttons. I mean, if you want to hit the dislike button, that's good too. Every click for the YouTube algorithm, every click is a good click. So just click a button. That's all I need. Anyway, guys, we will see what happens here. I mean, we're still above our breakout zone, so I guess you got to stay bullish, I guess, for now until we break down. We'll see. Anyway, guys, I'm just rambling at this point. Guys, one piece of advice for you before I go, and that is that trading opportunities are like trains. There's always another one coming. There's always another one coming. So stay rational. Don't trade with your emotion. There is always, always, always a new opportunity, right? Think about it, guys. Think about it. Bitcoin was flying up to 20K. Everyone was like, damn, I wish Bitcoin was back at 3K. Well, be careful what you wish for, because you got it, right? There's always a new opportunity, guys. All right, guys, so I will talk to you all very soon. Thank you guys so much for joining. And I will see you all very soon, guys. Maybe some more live streams soon if things continue to be interesting. But for now, guys, thank you so much. Smash like, subscribe, do all that great stuff. And I will see you all very soon.